Coming up, greenhouse explosion. 3 people burned and a vehicle found flipped in the middle of the wreckage. We'll tell you what Maryland officials think caused this dangerous blast and who rushed in to help. Did you hear it? A loud boom heard by countless families last night. A sound heard from central Maryland into northern Virginia. We'll tell you what officials think caused the flash in the sky and the peculiar widespread sound. Cherry blossom craze. The many festival events now underway as we inch closer to a tidal wave of tourism in D.C.
And it was a warm start to the weekend, but it could get warmer on your Sunday. Just how warm? Record-breaking warm, possibly? Stick around for the answer coming up.
And stick around for spring savings. Given the spring season, which major retailer is offering discounts ahead of the seasonal warm-up? We're going to stretch your dollar.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Good Saturday evening. Happy spring, everybody. Thank you for joining us for DC News Now at 9 o'clock. I'm Ben Dennis. Turning to your top story, DC fire officials rushed to a burning home in Northeast this afternoon. And now a man and his dog are without a home. Crews shared this video of first responders at 11th Street near Constitution Avenue. That's near Lincoln Park in the Capitol Hill neighborhood. We're told everybody got out safely and flames were extinguished before they spread further beyond the first floor. How the fire broke out is unclear. A greenhouse exploded and collapsed in Maryland. This seriously hurt a 65-year-old man and injured 2 more people. Now, the Carroll County Sheriff's Office says teams responded around 5 yesterday evening at Catoctin Mountain Nursery. That's on 6's Bridge Road. Frederick and Adams County teams were also brought in. An overturned vehicle was found right in the middle of the mangled metal at the blast site. The state fire marshal and the ATF believe it was a boiler that exploded inside of the nursery and spilled out 180-degree water. That man was medevaced for critical burn injuries. 2 other people are expected to be okay. All are employees at the nursery. If you heard a loud boom overnight in Loudoun County, Virginia and Frederick County, Maryland, you're not alone. That flash of light, captured roughly 1 mile from downtown Leesburg, was caught on camera around 10:50. The same time, officials said crews got called to a Dominion Energy substation. 2 reports came in for a loud boom. County fire crews and officials with Dominion said they found no hazards nearby. And a spokesperson for Dominion said their records show no incidents, power outages, or explosions at any substations nearby. Well, the National Weather Service is now blaming a strong lightning strike and amplified thunder thanks to favorable conditions for sound to travel, essentially creating an echo chamber. Science, it's fascinating stuff, Scott Sumner.
Oh, yes, indeed. All right, so that's why you hear the thunder seconds after you see the lightning. So here we go. What we have right now is dry conditions out there, but our next front back off to the west could bring some natural thunder and lightning again coming into the area as we go into tomorrow evening around this time. But it's all quiet and dry here in D.C. 59 degrees, overcast skies are being seen at this point in time. We'll break up some of those clouds during the evening. And as far as temperatures are concerned, they're going to be sliding all the way down into the middle 40s. Not too bad here in D.C. Outlying areas maybe 5 to 8 degrees cooler than that, so we may have some temperatures in the upper 30s, especially in the mountains, before we start to turn the corner and see those numbers everywhere, whether you're at the mountains or by the bay, start to rise throughout the morning. And speaking of morning, here's a morning checklist for you. Will you need a jacket? Possibly, with 40-degree temperatures. Just depends upon how thin-blooded you are or thick-blooded you are. Sunglasses also may be needed in spots, but there'll be some low visibilities and patches of fog which will show coming up, so not everybody will need that. I don't think there's a need for hat and gloves or an umbrella at all for tomorrow morning, but we'll talk more about the forecast for tomorrow and beyond with a full 7-day. Ben?
Looking forward to it, Scott. Thank you. Right now, the National Cherry Blossom Festival is officially underway. Tonight's kickoff event and the blossoms are getting closer to their full potential. DC News Now's Dave Laval joins us from the Daughters of the American Revolution after the fanfare at Constitution Hall. Dave, how are people getting ready to celebrate?
Well, the only thing that will make people even more excited here is when cherry blossoms reach peak bloom, which could happen as early as next weekend. For now, though, they're just glad the Cherry Festival is here again.
Amazing, amazing.
Lara Butner traveled from Toronto, Canada for the opening ceremonies of the National Cherry Blossom Festival. Needless to say, she did not go home disappointed.
The performances were fantastic. Did you see them doing the somersaults and doing the knives?
Japanese-themed performances entertained the crowd that packed the Daughters of the American Revolution for the program.
Honestly, the life and everything, the beauty, the art, the culture of Japan and U.S. coming together, I find that very beautiful.
Last year's festival attracted just over 1.5 million people, with an economic impact to the area of at least $200 million, according to Mayor Muriel Bowser. She joined Japan's ambassador to Washington in the annual Moment of Friendship, as both leaders shared their messages of hope for the festival.
May Japan-U.S. friendship continue to blossom for generations to come.
Where there is hope in a heart, there is life.
The festival commemorates the 1912 gift of 3,000 Japanese cherry trees from Tokyo to the U.S. Add to the list this year, as Japan gifted 250 additional trees to mark America's 250th anniversary.
It was a wonderful kickoff of the whole Cherry Blossom Festival.
Yeah, it certainly was a special night here. Hey, the Cherry Blossom Festival runs through April 12th, and of course, all the events are free. By the way, next year marks the 100th anniversary of the festival. We're live in Northwest. Dave Laval, DC News Now.
Our thanks to Dave. Appreciate it. Turning our focus back to Maryland, we got an update here in one neighborhood that turned into a partial community dump. Cleanup crews were called to Prince George's County following a report right here on DC News Now, alerting officials of the issue. As DC News Now's Tim Reed shows us, it's families living near Indian Head Highway that are grateful for the overhaul.
This area of Indian Head Highway is now clear of trash after work crews today were out here picking up litter. People in this area complained last week about all the old furniture, old tires, beer bottles, and lots of other trash that had been thrown on the side of the road. The State Highway Administration spent several hours outside. Several trucks were on site to haul away the trash.
It was an eyesore, but now it looks very nice. It matches Fort Washington, or what we think of Fort Washington.
Lori Champion and other neighbors are thankful to see all the trash go. They voiced their frustrations to DC News Now 1 week ago, and now something's being done about it. Prince George's County Councilwoman Jolene Ivey picked up her phone, calling the state to come clear away furniture, tires, fast food litter, and bedding that's been dumped in the street.
Just recently, our community has been saturated with trash, which is appalling. I'm embarrassed to even bring my friends to the community that I love so much.
While parts of Indian Head Highway are now looking fresh and clean, we were shown some other areas where trash is being dumped, like this area off Oxon Hill Road. People living in the area are banding together to make sure something is done about it.
It shows everybody that we have pride in our community. That's what's important, and to actually bring awareness.
Neighbors say they're going to keep an eye on this area to make sure it stays clean. In Fort Washington, Maryland, Tim Reed, DC News Now.
Our thanks to Tim. Also in Maryland, the partner of an elderly man killed in a senior home is suing the facility. In this lawsuit, she accuses Cogier Senior Living of knowing the suspect, Marquise James, had been impaired on the job months before the murder. The victim's partner says employees told the facility about concerns that employee was mishandling medications. Police say James shot Robert Fuller Jr. the morning of Valentine's Day in his home, in his apartment. Investigators say they didn't find James until he shot at a Maryland state trooper during a traffic stop days later. DC Water says crews are moving to the next phase of cleanup after January's devastating sewage spill into the Potomac. They say they finished up their initial cleanup along the shoreline and the streams that flow into the river. Crews will now focus their attention on the C&O Canal between locks 10 and 13 to remove sludge and debris. An event in Prince George's County, meantime, is aiming to give residents resources for housing and to learn how projects along the Blue Line corridor impact costs. DC News Now's Tosin Fakile caught up with local leaders in advance.
Organizers say the housing fair responds to the housing need in the region. They say the D.C. area needs to add an additional 320,000 housing units.
And so when we look at the Blue Line corridor, which is in the central part of Prince George's County, kind of from that eastern border of D.C. out to 495. It is a collection of 4 metro stops, many of which have not seen the same type of development that the rest of the region has.
Something Congressman Glenn Ivey reiterates. He says Prince George's County has its own challenges when it comes to housing, including the skyrocketing cost of owning a home.
And there's a limit on the number of starter homes that are available in the area. So the idea, I think, from an overall strategy is to do more affordable housing.
And the event wants to equip people, getting them closer to that affordable home.
We recognize that there are a lot of folks facing challenges at the moment. And so there will be tangible resources for folks who are in need of housing support, financial support.
Lawmakers and organizers say finding a solution to housing is twofold, local and national.
Democrats are trying to find legislation that would help people with financing, for example, also to help the industry with more construction. There's also a look at, do we want to limit it so that, speculators can't come in and buy up the housing stock.
And so we're starting to see this momentum build. Earlier this year, Governor Moore announced the redevelopment in partnership with WMATA, the Capitol Heights Metro stop. And so a 4-acre parking lot will be turned into 320 affordable housing units.
The housing fair is at Gethsemane United Methodist Church on Addison Road in Capitol Heights. For DC News Now, I'm Tosin Fakile.
All right, thanks to Tosin. New tonight, we've learned former FBI Director Robert Mueller, who investigated allegations into ties between Russia and the Trump campaign, has died. During his 12-year tenure at the FBI, Mueller transformed the nation's premier law enforcement agency into a terrorism-fighting force after the September 11th attacks. He later became special counsel in charge of investigating those alleged ties between Russia and Donald Trump's 2016 presidential campaign. Mueller died at the age of 81. President Trump posted on social media after the announcement of his death, quote, "Robert Mueller just died. Good. I'm glad he's dead. He can no longer hurt innocent people." Well, DC News Now is your local election headquarters, and early voting continues in Virginia on that referendum whether to allow a redraw of the Commonwealth's congressional districts. Governor Abigail Spanberger was at the polls voting yes on a proposal that would arguably give Democrats a 10-to-1 likely advantage over Republicans. Republicans are urging voters to vote against this, but the governor says this move is a temporary response to measures taken by other Republican majority state governments.
This amendment is temporary and responsive to this moment in time where we have a president who has gone to other states seeking additional congressional seats, saying he's, quote, entitled to them.
The bottom line is this is not good for Virginia. There was a recent study done by a political scientist that said, I'm going to do an objective study of this to see what this is all about. He made, through that analysis, the conclusion that this is the most extreme gerrymander, not just in the entire nation, but in the last 25 years.
Early voting continues through April the 18th, and the last day to vote, that's April the 21st. More people on bikes could soon crowd sidewalks and streets as federal officials remove a popular bike path through the National Mall. The 15th Street bike lane runs from Capitol Hill to the Jefferson Memorial. A D.C. transportation study shows the protected lane led to a nearly 70% drop in bike crashes, almost 50% dip in all collisions. And advocates argue this move will make the area less safe for everybody.
People over the last few years have gotten used to taking this route, both from those that commute from Northern Virginia, for example, and those that want to go to the mall on the weekends or in other recreational times, especially young people. So I'm incredibly concerned. There will be blood on their hands. I believe that's 100%.
The Federal Highway Administration said in a statement the nation's capital is one of the most congested cities in America, and bike lane placements must complement normal road activities, not compete with them. Going on to say the bike lanes on 15th Street have dramatically reduced roadway capacity And with major events approaching, including the National Cherry Blossom Festival and Freedom 250 celebrations, it's essential to improve traffic flow for the many tourists. DC's Mayor Muriel Bowser pushing back, saying removing the bike lanes would push cyclists into traffic or onto crowded sidewalks, creating new safety risks. She also said the bike lanes enhance traffic flow, reduce travel time along the area. Well, there's a protest ride happening tomorrow night about this that will start at Lincoln Park at 4 p.m. Thousands of runners hit the streets laced up for the St. Jude rock and roll races today. This was a half marathon and a 5K. Participants ran to support cancer research and raise money for families with cancer patients. Good cause indeed. Coming up, becoming a new mom comes with a list of baby needs. A lot of stress too. That's why we're helping you stretch your dollar. Ways to manage the significant cost. 9:15, a live look over the nation's capital and into Arlington County toward Reagan National. Happy Saturday, folks. Man, what a great day. Tomorrow, just as beautiful. We'll be right back.